Blessings. Welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. I'm at a different location again today, and this may start being a thing moving forward in the future, but that's okay. We're gonna do these every day anyway. Today our read was out of Proverbs 22 through 24. A lot of good takeaways, just like yesterday. When I read 22 verse 1, immediately I was like, oh my gosh, man, we're gonna be so jam-packed we can't do everything that comes out today, and we can't, but there are still some good ones we're going to talk about. 22 verse 1, reputation is what this is speaking of, and a law enforcement officer's reputation in the field is critical to his job. The guy that just goes to work and collects a paycheck and doesn't really care, it's not going to affect him that much. But the one who cares, the righteous officer, the Christian officer who works as if working for the Lord, cares about his reputation on the street with his community. He wants to be a trustworthy officer, one who upholds justice, but is not unjust, one who protects the needy and the victims and goes after the criminals to protect our society. This will affect everything you do as far as trying to develop CIs. When you're working a case, when you're trying to get information, people, if they don't trust you, they're not going to tell you anything. But if they trust you, you're going to wind up getting a lot of good information from them, and it's going to help you. So this verse about reputation is just huge for law enforcement. Jump down to verse 10. It says, target the troublemaker. I think any officer who's ever had to do riot control knows that you get the troublemaker out. And once you get the troublemaker out, it says once you take the scoffer out, who's going to be your troublemaker, contention will go out, and even strife and disorder will cease. Biblical principle, just a good law enforcement takeaway. And then we get down to the end of 22 and the beginning of 23, and there are all these pieces of advice from Solomon, and they come in verses of 2 or 3. But there's, do not rob the poor or crush the afflicted. Do not associate with a man given to anger, and we talked about that yesterday. Do not be among those who give pledges. Do not move the ancient boundary, which is cheating or stealing from people. Be diligent in your work. Again, work as if you're working for Christ. Conduct before a king, that's an interesting one. And then 23:4, do not worry about wealth. God's going to take care of your provisions. Do not eat the bread of a selfish man. Do not speak in the hearing of fools, because you don't know who they're going to run and tell. They're not trustworthy. Again, in verse 10, it says, do not remove or move the ancient boundaries, because it's really important. He says it twice here. Do not hold back discipline. Do not envy sinners. Listen to your father's instructions and stay away from the harlot. All good advice that will carry us a long way in our lives. And the last one on the next page, I almost forgot and missed it. Stay away from drug and alcohol. And we talked about one yesterday, I believe, or it was in there. I may not have mentioned it yesterday because there were so many, but drinking alcohol is not prohibited in the Bible. But getting intoxicated is definitely prohibited. It says you can drink, just don't drink too much. And then chapter 24, verses 8 and 9 is such a cool law enforcement takeaway for someone who conducts interviews. And it's about researching a person that you're interviewing or that you suspect is committing crime. It's some things to look at in their past behavior, some of their personality traits that will show you a lot about their character and who they are. Just really cool investigative one-on-one things that keep popping up in the book of Proverbs. So today was a good read. Tomorrow I anticipate it's going to be a good read too, because they all are. Tomorrow we're going to be in Proverbs 25 through 27. So I may see you back here in a similar type location. But until then, read up, read your Bible, read ahead on Proverbs, and be safe.